Hi, I'm Michael Lesser from the Busan Beat.
Hi, Simon McCloskey, Head of School at International School of Busan.
Great. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Please.
Okay. First of all, thank you. And please introduce yourself. Where are you from? What are your hobbies? Which sports do you like? Do you have a family here in Busan?
Yep. I'm from the UK originally, and I've been overseas for 22 years, teaching in international schools. I've got my wife who also teaches at the school here, and I've got two sons, one in grade 6 and one in grade 9. Sports, I enjoy scuba diving with my family when time allows, and I'm a long-suffering Arsenal Football Club fan.
Okay. And what are your impressions of Busan and ISB thus far, and where have you visited in Busan and Korea?
So I've only been in Busan for a couple of months, so the focus has been mostly on the school, so travel outside of Busan has been quite limited. But my first impressions of the school are that it's a warm, caring environment, and at Busan itself I think it's quite an exciting, vibrant place. We've managed to get to the Busan International Rock Festival. I've got my first baseball game this Wednesday, and we're going to the Dream Theatre to watch School of Rock next week as well. So there's plenty of things to do, and I also enjoy spending time on St John Beach with the family. So I think it's a really nice place to bring a family up, a nice place to work.
Oh, you're going to love the baseball game.
Yeah.
Aside from Busan, of course, where would you say has been your favorite international experience, and why did you get into the international school scene?
I think my favourite country, I suspect, probably would be Tanzania. I love the beaches and the game parks there. It's also where I got married to my wife. I met my wife in Bangladesh, but we got married in Tanzania. In terms of why I started teaching overseas, I started teaching in a place called Plymouth in the UK, and I really enjoyed travelling. And then after my first overseas adventure in Bangladesh, I found it quite hard to go back to the UK. I also love international education and the International Baccalaureate, which is a curriculum which is very much aligned with my own educational philosophy.
Okay, great. And what are your goals for ISB?
Right. I think what I'd like to see happening at ISB is that we offer an outstanding international education experience, that we prepare students for life in the 21st century. We give them the skills to problem solve, to think critically, to communicate effectively in more than one language, and to work beyond borders and to be able to work in an international environment. That's really what we want our kids to achieve when they've left our school.
Great. And what would you say are the biggest challenges that lie ahead at ISB?
Well, we're a school which is set up for expatriate students, for Korean families who've lived overseas previously, and for dual passport holders. So the enrolment is very much dependent on those populations in town, and that depends on the foreign investment in the area. So the biggest challenge is to ensure that we're aligning our staffing and our educational programs with the demand for places at the school.
And what kind of role do you, as well as ISB, play in Kijang, as well as the greater Busan community?
I think it's important to bear in mind that with international students, we're not just educating kids, but we're also mindful of the fact that families are transitioning from different places all over the world. So it's important for us to make sure there's a support network in place for those families. It's also important, even though many of us aren't here for a long time, that we contribute to the community of which we're part of. So there's always fundraising efforts and community service projects to make sure that we're giving back to the community in which we live in.
Okay. And what do you spend most of your day doing?
So I like to spend as much time as I can in classes talking to students and to teachers, because I think it's important that if I'm speaking to parents or prospective parents, I've got a good understanding about what's going on in school. And I think you can only be credible and authentic when you're talking to parents if you've got that understanding. Apart from that, then my time is spent dealing with the operational side of the school, managing staff, the facilities themselves, admissions, marketing, overseeing the finance, those kind of things.
Okay. And if you were a student, what would you say about ISB?
There's three words that I usually use when I'm talking to students and to teachers and to parents, and I say that my job is to ensure that the school is safe, that students are happy, and that high quality learning is taking place. So when speaking to the students, I would hope that they would communicate some of those things, and I think in most cases they do, that they feel happy, they feel safe, they feel supported, and they feel that they're in an environment where they can learn effectively.
Great. And final question. Aside from parent-teacher conferences and meetings, is ISB networking with parents through social media? And if so, how did they find you?
Well, we try to make sure that we have as many opportunities in the school to invite parents in to talk about what we do. We try to communicate regularly with newsletters and so on, but the supplementary information is really important for existing families and prospective families to get an understanding of what we do and how and why we do it. So we've got a very active Facebook page where we share content and celebrate the things that we do. We connect with alumni, previous staff and prospective staff on LinkedIn. And we also use the hashtag ISB Learning to share and celebrate the things which go on at school. So parents have the opportunity to connect with those three social media channels, as well as any time they want to come into school and come and talk to us, they're more than welcome.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time today.
Okay, thank you.
Very nice to meet you.
Cheers, thanks, Mike.